Well, good evening, DirtFish friends. Yesterday, we brought you the news from in front of Hadrian's Arch with the Acropolis imposingly sitting in the background. This evening, well, it's this 1960s style exhibition centre in Lamia. It's not quite the same, but the big thing is we've got rally cars, we've got fans. Great atmosphere here in Lamia. The rally fans that were out in the stages, well, they have enjoyed a really interesting day. 5 stages today, 90 kilometres in total, around about 60 miles, an awful lot of road section. It's been a very long day for those 90 kilometres, but my goodness me, hasn't it been an interesting day? Let's just quickly run through the top 10 at the end of Friday here on the Acropolis Rally of the Gods. So here we go then, our top 10 at the end of Friday. Kalle Rovanpera is the man who leads the way. Ott Tanak just 3.7 seconds behind in second. Sebastian Ogier, magnificent job from him, first on the road today. 3.9 seconds behind our leader Kalle Rovanpera and 0.2 behind Ott Tanak. Danny Sordo is in fourth, 23.9 seconds off the lead. In fifth, it's Adrian Formeau, and in sixth, Gus Greensmith. Then the first of our Rally 2 cars in seventh, it's Marco Bellazzi, and it's all very tight. Andreas Mikkelsen is in 8th place, 5.4 seconds behind Bellazzi. Then in 9th, it's Chris Ingham, a further 6.4 seconds back. And rounding out the top 10, it's Kaito Kaitanovic. So, let's start from the top, shall we? Let's talk about Kalle Rovanpera. Listen, you know, he's had the most magnificent day out there. He was basically told at the start of the day by his boss, Jari-Matti Latvala, you've got nothing to lose. You know, go for it. Go for it. You don't have to think about points in terms of drivers' championships. Go for it. See what he can do out there today. His first time on this event. Yes, his dad started the event, I think 8 times. Rovanpera's first time here in Greece, and he was magnificent. He really was. We caught up with him at the end of the day, and this is what he had to say.
The day was quite nice. We were preparing for this kind of condition more in the test also. So yeah, when the first 2 stages and the last one also was more this loose and slippy stuff, the setup was good. Only on stage 5 I was struggling with the setup quite a lot and understeer. But yeah, I think it was quite nice day from us. It's always nice to be in the fight, and when it's tight like this, it's really exciting. Tomorrow is gonna be tough day. The recce condition was difficult, foggy and everything, so it's gonna be really difficult tomorrow, but let's see what we can do.
Really strong day for him. He was confident and comfortable in the stages, and he was fast and competitive. Great day from the young Finn. What about Ott Tanak in second place? Well, we know that Hyundai have had some issues out there today, particularly with Thierry Neuville, and we'll touch on those in a minute or two. But Tanak, well, he had issues of his own, but the important thing for Ott Tanak is that he's right there or thereabouts. He wasn't comfortable in that Hyundai today. He didn't feel as if he could push it to the limits. When he got close to the limit, it was giving him a little bit of a scare. It was actually kicking against him, and he was saying, whoa, bring this back a wee bit. This is too risky. Take that into consideration, and look where he is, just a handful of seconds behind Kalle Rovanpera in second place. That is encouraging. If they can get that car set up in a way that perhaps works better on day 2 for Ott Tanak, he will be quick out there for tomorrow. But here's what Tanak said to us in the media zone just behind us a few minutes ago.
It was important to keep in touch, you know, to not let Toyotas go, and otherwise they don't feel any pressure, so it's important to make them feel pressure at least. That was the best we could do today. Yeah, you know, Sepp did really good job opening the road, and we were just able to match him, but at least we are there. Now we are back to service. We have some more knowledge, and hopefully we can improve or find at least something for tomorrow to keep the pace.
What about Sebastian Ogier? Well, he's right in the fight. 10ths of a second behind Tanak in second, 4 or 5 seconds of Kalle Rovanpera leading the event. He will be quicker tomorrow, that is for sure, and that is what Ott Tanak told us, didn't he? That he fears Ogier's pace tomorrow. He was enormously quick, enormously committed, enormously comfortable with his car out there today. What will he be like tomorrow with a clean road, with a level playing field for our top 3 drivers. He could well be the man to watch tomorrow. And as always, at the end of the day, he was very, very calm and collected when he spoke to us earlier on. Let's hear from the champ.
The result is much better than expected today, that's for sure. I think a little bit like we managed to do in Sardinia. We really did the maximum to minimize the road sweeping today, and I think I would have never expect to be only 3.9 seconds to the lead tonight. So yeah, no, I'm very happy with that. At the same time, managed to stay out of trouble, and yeah, it's been a tough day. There was some rough sections still, especially stage 4, where I fought to lose a bit there, but that's always been my strategy, to don't go for it when I don't feel that it's too rough. So yeah, we have to keep it that way, but so far the start couldn't do better for us.
So that's our top 3 at the end of the Friday here in Greece. But it doesn't tell the whole story, does it? Because let's talk first about, our 2 other championship challengers, if you like. Ogier leading the championship by a long way, but clearly his teammate Elfyn Evans still in the fight. Thierry Neuville from Hyundai still in the fight. We'll start with Elfyn Evans. Have a look at this. This was Elfyn Evans on the road section after stage 2. So you can see that Evans' problem started very, very early on in the day. He had some kind of gear selection issue. It was a little bit odd. He could select gears before he went into the stage. He could effectively change up, he couldn't change down. It made it a very uncomfortable day out there for Evans. He lost an awful lot of time, but he's still in with a shout of scoring, half decent points this weekend. That was the important thing. Under different circumstances, if he'd not been in a title fight, he might well have retired for the day, got that car back early and worked on it ahead of tomorrow. But he battled on, and he's given himself a chance of scoring good points at the end of this event. What about our other championship contender, Thierry Neuville? Well, goodness me, he also had problems with, what was it? It was a hydraulic, his wasn't gear selection, we had 2 issues basically. He had issues with the electrics in the car. He told us later on this evening that problem has been there for 3 or 4 rallies. There was a degree of frustration in the media zone with Thierry Neuville. How can this happen? How can a problem which is obvious, or a problem that's already repeated itself from one rally to the next, how can it keep repeating itself? It absolutely compromised him from the start of the day. He had further issues with power steering, and remember, there was no service out there today, no remote service. What that does mean is that the cars tend to carry extra spares. They carry extra spares of, in particular, suspension parts, also extra fluids normally, but they used up all of those fluids. They had to keep topping up that power steering, and as we saw in the last couple of stages, he was more or less back up to pace. But a frustrating day, a very, very frustrating day out there for Thierry Neuville. If we talk about M Sport very quickly, their drivers, Adrien Farmeau, not a bad day. He was there or thereabouts. In terms of the difference to the leading cars, around about 0.6 of a kilometre. That's encouraging for Farmeau. Gus Greensmith, well, he had a spin. Things were a little more tricky for Greensmith than he'd hoped out there today, and he will hope that for sure that tomorrow is a better day. So, folks, it's been a great return to Greece, hasn't it? A really fascinating day that I very, very much enjoyed. Tomorrow, though, is the biggie. Over 130 kilometres tomorrow. Really challenging. The conditions on Recce were atrocious when our boys went out and wrecked earlier on in the week. Don't expect to see too much wet mud. It'll be there in places, but we've had a wonderful day today. Tomorrow the weather will also be wonderful. We're not going to see too much mud, but the challenge is the fact that the Recce was difficult. I think we will see drama out on the stages tomorrow. Listen, it's Greece. There's always drama on the Acropolis Rally. Folks, thank you very much for joining us today. We will bring you all the news, all the action as it unfolds on the Saturday of Acropolis Rally. Stick with us at DirtFish.com.